Okay, picture this. Way out in the middle of the Alaskan wilderness, there's this huge, kind of eerie forest of antennas, and they're all pointing straight up, shooting these powerful radio waves into the sky. That place, it's called HAARP. And the big question is, what are they really doing out there?
I mean, it sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, right? Can a single facility in Alaska really control the weather or even our minds? For decades, this place, HAARP, has been at the very center of this huge debate, with scientists on one side and some really wild conspiracy theories on the other. So let's try to figure out what's actually going on.
All right, so to really unpack all this, let's start with the basics. We gotta look at the official story first. What exactly is HAARP, and why did they even build it?
So here it is. The name itself is a mouthful, the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. That's a lot, I know. So everyone just calls it HAARP. It was built way back in 1993. And even though the name sounds super complicated, what they say it's for is actually pretty specific.
So on paper, HAARP's mission is all about science. They say they're studying the ionosphere. That's this electrically charged layer way, way up in our atmosphere. And why do they care? Well, the idea is to make stuff like our radio and satellite communications work better. Plus, they want to understand cool things like the Northern Lights. Sounds harmless enough, right? Well, here's the catch. The mission might sound pretty straightforward and, academic, but the place itself, it looks like something straight out of a Hollywood blockbuster. We're talking a massive field of 180 giant antennas, all working together. It's that image, this powerful, almost alien-looking setup, that really got people's imaginations running wild and kicked off decades of suspicion. And that suspicion? It didn't just bubble under the surface. Oh no. It completely erupted into some of the most incredible, out-there theories you can possibly imagine. Suddenly, this research facility wasn't just a research facility anymore. It was the bad guy in a massive global thriller. And look, we're not talking about small rumors here. These are massive claims. People started saying that HAARP could literally create and steer hurricanes, that it could trigger devastating earthquakes, that it could knock out electronics across the entire planet. And maybe the scariest one of all, that it could actually control what you think.
And what happens is these theories get tied to real-world disasters. Whenever something terrible happened, like the Indian Ocean tsunami, or Hurricane Katrina, or that awful earthquake in Haiti in 2010, you could go online and see people immediately pointing the finger at HAARP. For them, these weren't just tragic natural events. Nope. They were proof that this secret weapon was being used.
Okay, so you've got all these incredible, world-changing accusations flying around. What about the scientists? The people who actually work with this stuff. How do they even begin to respond when people are saying their research project is basically a weapon of mass destruction?
Well, for scientists, it all really boils down to simple physics. Basically, a question of power and scale. They say that the amount of energy you'd need to actually move tectonic plates for an earthquake or to steer a hurricane, it's just mind-boggling. Millions of times more powerful than anything HAARP could ever hope to generate. And the mind control thing, they're just like, there's no science for that. There's just no known way for radio waves like these to influence your thoughts.
So if you ask a physicist, hey, what is HAARP really? This is pretty much what they'll tell you. Take away all the scary stories and the mystery, and what you're left with is a really, really big radio transmitter. That's it. It's a tool they use to kind of poke at the atmosphere to see what happens, just to learn more about it. It's not a weapon, it's a research instrument. But that brings up a really good question, right? If the science is so clear, why do these conspiracies just refuse to die? Well, from the scientist's point of view, it's about something deeply human, fear. I mean, think about it. You've got this secret-looking government facility packed with weird technology shooting invisible energy beams into the sky. It's pretty much the perfect recipe for our fear of the unknown to just take over. So we've kind of laid out the two sides of the coin here. On one side, you have the official story. It's a totally harmless science lab. And on the other, you have all these years of really dark, intense speculation and conspiracy theories. And that really brings us right back to where we started. So what is HAARP? Is it just a misunderstood science project that's basically a victim of looking way too intimidating for its own good? Or is there something more going on out there? Something powerful that's being kept from us? The science seems to have its feet planted firmly on the ground, but those wild theories, they're still floating around up there in the clouds.